Hello, I am Charlene Kinsey,
And I'm Bob Gonzalez.
and we are your students' geometry teachers this year. All right, so a little bit about our classroom. Every day, as your student comes into our room, we have randomized groups each day on the board for them to find who they're going to be working with that day. We like to do this because it builds a lot of good skills, how to collaborate with people and how to work with everybody. We do a lot of exploration through collaboration at whiteboards for them to kind of explore through topics and learn a little bit about that. And we use what they learned from their explorations to summarize a lot of our lessons. We like to use student work to make them feel that they're included in their own learning. And then we always wrap up class with some notes on the lesson to clarify anything that they had confusion on.
Okay, this is a list of the topics or the units that we'll be covering or expecting to cover in semester one. So you could take a quick look at that.
All right, so in our classroom, it is all about the learning. Even though the end goal is that we, of course, do well through assessments, the real goal is when we are learning, we're thinking about what we're doing, we're understanding why it's working and how it works in general. And we do this by using a lot of questioning analysis of like, what do you see? What's happening? What patterns do you notice? And from analyzing work that way, they get to kind of learn through the progression. We also do a lot of self-reflections where students pause in our learning and we take a moment to see like, what do I know currently and what do I still need help with? So we take what we call spot checks and use that to help them reflect on how they are doing. And it gives us that information too. We take some notes to consolidate what students have been learning in our class, but we also do that mostly through collaboration where students are working with each other through tasks to learn what's going to be on our notes. And the big thing is persevering and problem solving. Students need to learn that it might not be easy right away, but they need to keep on going. And through that process that they are going to be learning a lot more.
Great. Okay, and then each of our chapters we break them down to standards. So each of the students will have to learn a standard and a learning target for each chapter. So we break it down into all these standards and learning targets, and then we have checkpoints for each standard where we'll be assessing each of the students as to how well they've achieved each of those learning targets.
So we go through and we grade using standards-based grading. So essentially, the only thing that's graded in our class is our checkpoints, which is just a way that we call our test. They are just timed formative assessments that get graded. And we do this by using standards-based grading. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. The other things that are not in part of their grade, but that we still put in the grade book are their spot checks. Those are like practice quizzes that they take as if it was a real quiz. And they self-reflect and tell us how they did on it. And that does get put in the grade book so that you guys can track their progress through the chapter through student view.
Right. So those grades will be visible. So you'll be able to see how they're doing, even though they won't count towards the grade, but the checkpoints will count towards their grade. And this tells us a little bit about the actual grading scale. So you can see on the leftmost column there, the numerical values that will be associated. So between a 5 and a 10 out of 10 points for each of the learning targets. And then in the middle column, you can see a description of what is associated with that numerical score in terms of how well they are achieving that learning objective. Mhm.
If you take a peek at our Google Classroom, our syllabus is posted there along with any of our learning targets and standards for every chapter. We also sent an email home with that linked so that you can check over all the information that we're also telling you right now.
And the best way to contact us is really through email. Okay, so our email addresses are here. Please do include both of us when you send an email so we can both be in the loop. We will typically respond pretty quickly, usually the same day. We don't always check outside of school hours, but we'll do our best to get back to you really soon. And there is always extra help available for your students as well. So Ms. Kinsey is here before school every day, and I'm here after school. And really, if you or your student just talks to us, we can make arrangements to be available to help them at other times as well. We really want to be there to provide them any extra help that they might need. So please feel free to reach out. Let us know. Okay.
All right.
And I think we're all, yeah, we look forward to a great school year.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Pause recording. There it is.